Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spirit Wisdom Wednesday, where we gather here together in the healing space and allow some beautiful spirit wisdom to flow through. If you are new to me, my name is Meredith, and this is my heart-centered business called the Healing Hummingbird. And I love to help healers, givers, and spiritual go-givers reclaim their power, receive healing, and integrate the joyful, brave spirit of the hummingbird, who teaches us to drink only from the sweet nectar of life. And tonight, on this very special night, we have a new moon in Pisces, which will be the subject of this week's reading. My spirit guides really wanted to help us set intentions, because if you didn't know, a new moon is a perfect time to do that. It's planting the seeds that will come to fruition during the full moons. So let's go ahead and take a couple nourishing, I'm hearing the word nourishing breaths together. So I'm going to put my hands over my heart and invite you to inhale in with me and exhale out. Inhale in and exhale out. Inviting our spirit guides to come near us now. We're just going to hold the question, which group holds my message for March? How to make the most of March. You could hear, see, feel, or know that it's group 1, 2, or 3. Or you could feel drawn to one of these crystals or the decks that we have out. So for group number 1 is this beautiful piece of Lepidolite. And this is the Divine Abundance deck. Group number 2, we have a Golden Healer. It's so shiny. The camera's not focusing on it. Beautiful. And then we have the Moon Oracle Guidance. And then for group number 3, we have Indigo, either Gabbro or Gabbro. Indigo Gabbro, I think. Ooh, look at that schiller there. And then for group number 3, this would be the Angels and Ancestors deck. Okay, so we should have our groups chosen. Let me move these out of the way. For group number 1, if you chose the Lepidolite, let's get started with your messages. I'm going to put your crystal up here. And let me know if the focus is good. I have another light on, and I want to make sure that you can really see all of this. Okay, hello, Dawn. Hello, Alma. I see that you both are here. Thank you so much for joining me live. Okay, so for group number 1, Spirit, how can they make the most of March? What do you want them to know about March? For Lepidolite, that is a stone that helps with transitions and to release old patterns. So let's see if that is something that Spirit wants to talk about. It also feels like a very gentle energy. So I'm already getting a message about being gentle with yourself for group number 1. Okay, so first out, this did go in the reverse, but I'll show you upright. We have the Devil in reverse. Love that it's reversed for you. We also have the Emperor. All right. Let's see if we can make a little room here. We've got more cards coming. And the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Group number 1, March is a big month for you. Yeah, and then the Wheel of Fortune can also talk about cycles. So as I was shuffling, we mentioned that Lepidolite helps you to release old patterns. Definitely feels like Spirit is wanting to talk about that. So let's talk about the Devil in reverse. That can often talk about getting out of a toxic situation, even ending a toxic work environment. You could have put an end to some behaviors that were more reactive or like addictive. So that could even be like eating sugar or eating really late at night. So it feels like you have successfully identified where your energy was being pulled out of you, and you're turning that upside down. So this is a great affirmation that you're on the right track. That's in the past position. And in the present, for March, we have the Emperor. So this is all about stepping into your power. This could also have to do with your relationship with your father, okay? So since we're talking about ending cycles, ending toxic situations, you could be doing some inner child work, I'm seeing. But it's definitely has an altruistic feel to it. You feel very fair about the way you see things. And so you're like seating yourself and getting comfortable with your powerful energy. So I hope that's making sense for you. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, again, with this Devil in reverse, basically I'm seeing that you are successfully balancing out karma in a positive way. So again, that kind of give and take, that altruistic feature of the Emperor, I can see that you have a really clear perspective. So if you've been feeling foggy, I can see that in March for group number 1, that is really going to be lifted from your view. All that haze is going to lift, and you're going to be able to take aligned action and move forward in a really meaningful way. Okay, so let's get some crystal guidance here. There's some affirmations in this deck. This is a new one for me, but this could also help set intentions for March. Or if you're a crystal lover like I am, obviously I am. These cards are super long. I'm going to shuffle like this. It can help you pick out, a tumble to have in your pocket. Or even a color to wear. Okay. So let's drop cut. We'll get 2 for you. All right. So first we have Tektite. And then very earthy look to both of these. If you notice, they're kind of neutral colors. And then we have Lepidolite. Ooh, I love the name of that. And then Unlock Your Highest Potential. Yeah, they wanted me to get this deck out so we could really pay attention down here. So this will be used as advice for us tonight. And then for Tektite, Raise Your Vibration. How perfect is that ended up right under the Devil. So your spirit guides are acknowledging how much you have raised your vibration. I'm seeing the number 3. So you might have been working on this over the past 3 months or maybe even 3 years. And with this black color here, I'm feeling like your spirit guides want to help you protect your progress. Okay. So if this is an energy that you have separated yourself from, it seems like, if that person wants to reconnect with you or trigger you, we definitely want to protect yourself from that and hold your stance here with the Emperor. And then with Lepidolite, Unlock Your Highest Potential. It feels like you might have been asking yourself with the Wheel of Fortune, like, why did any of this happen? Why did I have to have such a horrible experience? Like, why did I have to learn this lesson in the hardest way possible? And your spirit guides really feel for you and are saying it's part of unlocking your highest potential. It could be that because of this experience that you've had, you're able to relate to somebody or a situation in a new way like you never have before. So if you take clients, now you have this different worldly experience that can make them feel more comfortable working with you. Okay, now let's get some Moon Oracle guidance for you. We'll just have one of these cards. All right, Spirit. So for group number 1, how can they make the most of March? What intentions should they set for the month? Okay. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. So the first quarter is all about taking action. Oh, we even talked about with the Emperor taking aligned action. I feel like this is still in the past. I feel like this situation with the devil, with this kind of toxic situation, that your resolve already was tested and that you are holding your ground. And so with the first quarter moon, you know, that comes after the new moon. I feel like they're inviting you to create action steps. And I know this is like, it can kind of sound like a lot. But again, your spirit guides are like, they can handle it. This is going to be great for them. They really want to see you move past this. So this must have been pretty painful or created some upheaval in your life. And your spirit guides, I can see them kind of like taking you by the hand and ushering you forward, saying, we really want to help them make real progress. And that comes with, okay, what are we going to do and how can I get there? Can I make any weekly steps, like really map out your month as far as your intentions go? What can I accomplish in week 1? What about week 2? What about week 3? The Emperor is excellent at this. He's also excellent at delegating tasks if something feels too heavy for you to do on your own. Okay, so let's get some ancestor and angel guidance here to kind of round out the intentions for the month. I'm also hearing there could be some fear of moving forward because of how difficult this situation has been for you, almost like a fear that it could repeat. And your spirit guides want to assure you that they are protecting you from that happening again. Okay. Right, group number 1. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Oh, money, honey. That's what that means. And Sage, my old favorite, be devoted and committed. Okay. So this might be a lesson that you've learned before or gone through a version of it before. So Spirit is really wanting you to be gentle with yourself, again, with this Lepidolite. To really be gentle and understanding with yourself about this situation, okay? They acknowledge that it might be frustrating. It feels like this could have to do with relationships, so maybe the same type of toxic pattern has come back again. That's not your fault, okay? It really is not. It's just a lesson that had to come back again and really be worked out karmically. But let's focus over here on the Lady, okay? This is like a bright shining light in your reading. Growth and rewards. This is the most auspicious card in this deck, okay? So if there was any doubt, if you were like scared that you picked number 1 and you're like, oh man, this sounds pretty real, I don't know, you got the Lady, okay? So, and they're showing me this kind of like wheel. I don't know if you all will know what I'm talking about, but it's like this pie chart that shows the different areas of your life. So there would be like physical health, money, love, and spiritual, like the pillars of your life. And they're saying it's really rare that every pillar of your life is on fire at the same time, if that makes sense. So your personal growth corner could be feeling a little weary, but the financial and material corner is looking real good in the next month. So if you had any questions about, am I going to be okay in March? Absolutely. I actually see that you're going to prosper in March. Okay. So I'm hearing release that cycle and embrace your power here with the Emperor. And let's get one last card here from Divine Abundance to solidify how to make the most of your March for group number 1. Okay. Freedom. I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. Oh my gosh. Yes. Absolutely. You could have financial freedom in March. If that's something that you're working towards, it feels like you might either pay off a debt or make put your books together in a way that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And also with the hummingbird here, it feels like you're really lightening your energy this month, which I absolutely love to see for you, especially since you're coming out of a challenging time. Okay, so those were your messages for those of you who chose the Lepidolite with group number 1. I hope that was helpful and that it resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, so for those of you who chose group number 2 with the Golden Healer, let's go ahead and get, look at that, look at that. Let's go ahead and get your messages for how to make the most of your March. It feels like there might be a focus for you with beautification. That could have to do with like your surroundings. Maybe you're decorating, or maybe just taking care of yourself. You might refresh your wardrobe. And with the Golden Healer, that's a crystal that helps clear your aura and supports motivation. So it feels like you're really going to be determined to accomplish some things this month that might have been hanging out on your to-do list for a couple months. Feels like it's really going to be an all systems go moment for group number 2. Okay, let's see what your tarot has to say. First, we had the 3 of coins pop out for you. Next, we have the 5 of swords. And then, Queen of Cups. This is you. Okay. So, this is a really specific message. So I hope this is going to be resonating for you. So with the 5 of swords, let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is a feeling defeated by a situation. But I'm getting a really specific message for you, group number 2, that this has to do with some sort of communications. If you have a business, this could have to do with social media and mastering like marketing materials and things like that. And there's this feeling of feeling defeated by something because you don't understand it. Okay, so the swords are all about mental perception. So Spirit wants to let you know this isn't necessarily true. This just might be the way the energy is feeling. And that makes sense that message came out because the group, or the 3 of Pentacles often has to do with studying, with joining a new cohort, with having fellow students, training in something new. So it feels like you are going to be reclaiming your power in March. And instead of continuing to feel defeated by something that you're not understanding, you're going to actually take some action, maybe take a course or consult with an expert about something to bring clarity. So with the Pentacles here, that could be financial as well. So you could meet with a tax advisor or something like that. This could even be legal, something that feels so overwhelming to try to figure out on your own. Spirit is letting you know it is totally fine to seek out professional advice. Please do that if you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed. And then here's the energy that you will be embodying this month, the Queen of Cups. So I can see, since you are this intuitive type, very loving, very compassionate, very emotionally mature, it can be easy for someone so watery to feel overwhelmed by something that feels kind of cold and logical. So that would be, again, like filing taxes, keeping your finance books, or coding on a website just feels like way too much, that they want you to stay in this creative flow. And part of that is kind of outsourcing some of that. So I hope that's making sense. I know that's really specific, but that sometimes they do that. They're like, hey, we're here to bring the heat. We want to make these really specific so that people know that they chose the right group. Okay, let's get some crystal energy for you, group number 2, for March. And this makes sense, this whole scenario that they described. Since now all of our planets are direct, we had a couple retrogrades recently. So now that everything's direct, this is going to be a month of significant progress, getting things done, which we love that. Okay. Ooh, how pretty. Ametrine. And Jasper. Ooh, I love Jasper. And there's so many different types of Jasper too. So I feel like that's another message for you, is that you are very versatile. You might not think of yourself as a jack or a queen of all trades, but I'm seeing that you are. So you might be feeling, if this is resonating with you, like you have an appointment with an expert, you might be feeling totally unequipped. Like, I don't even know what questions to ask this person. And Spirit's like, yes, you do. Or yes, he or she does, but they're not going to realize that, how capable you are, until you're in the situation. So, and this has nothing to do with these cards, but they're saying, please have faith in yourself that you are equipped to deal with everything that's on your plate right now. Okay. And so we have make your big dreams, your big life. Love that for you. That would definitely line up with this entrepreneurial business owner energy I'm getting. And then Jasper, strengthen your foundation. I feel like that's your belief in yourself. I feel like that's definitely your belief in yourself. And so I'm seeing something that has to do with affirmations. So if that's not already part of your practice, I feel like that would really benefit you for the month of March. Just having faith in yourself to deal with everything that's given to you, and having faith in your guides as well. I'm hearing that you're very, very loved and adored, not only by your spirit guides, but by people around you in your physical life as well. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that big rev of an engine, but that was like, hell yeah. So that's a big confirmation of that, of how loved you are, how important you are. All right, now let's get some Moon Oracle guidance. Whoop, there she is. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. All right, so you might have a Gemini placement. If you do, they definitely want you to take a look at that. Or you might have a Gemini in your life that is going to be significant in this month. There's also an element of Gemini that's coming through about seeing both sides of a situation. So if the whole business scenario is resonating for you, it's like managing the creative side of it, but also seeing the practical side of it. If this is a relationship, it could simply be being able to understand another person's perspective, because Gemini is always seeing both kind of at the same time. And so I feel like that might be contributing to this feeling of overwhelm or defeat. It feels like you're really going to be opening your eyes this month because you're so compassionate over here. It could be that someone shares something with you that you weren't aware of before, that kind of opens your eyes to them and helps you understand where they've been coming from all along. This would be kind of like a powerful revelation. So I hope that's making sense. Okay, let's get your angels and ancestors guidance. So how can they make the most of March, Spirit? How can group number 2 make the most of March? Do you have any advice about the intentions they should be setting? And your card flipped over, flew on the ground. Okay, Spirit, we don't take reversals in that deck. Thank you. That's also another message for you, group number 2, that you have your way of doing things. That's really beautiful and high vibrational. And even if it's different than the way things have been done before you or after you, that doesn't matter. Okay, so if you're feeling like self-conscious about how differently you go about things, Spirit's like, that's actually one of your greatest strengths, and we love that about you. Okay, so obviously first we had the Earth Guardian for you. Stay rooted and grounded. I love that one. I don't see him very much. Summer, bask in joy and light. Yes. And since this is over by the card that has to do with studying, it feels like maybe you've met some important people through classes. Maybe you've connected with friends, and it feels like maybe those friendships will become very important to you in March to help you feel supported. And there's a lot of joy in that. There's a lot of sweetness in that too. And it feels like you are a really hard worker. Like you might be the type of personality, you might even be an earth sign, that is the happiest when you have a lot of work to do, or you feel like you're very productive. And there's so much of this golden color for you. So again, they wanted me to pick this up. You might be a healer. If you don't already know that, I feel like you have great potential for energetic healing. Staying rooted and grounded through the details is what I'm hearing. It feels like a lot of potentially intimidating detail. It feels like maybe there's paperwork or things to be signed, things that are very practical, that if you look at all of it all at the same time, which if you're like me, that's easy to do. Like, let me think of everything I have to do this month all at the same time, can feel overwhelming. But again, Spirit is like, you're so capable. You're literally a queen. And all you have to do is stay rooted and grounded through this. And with this staff, I'm hearing that they're leading the way. Your spirit team is very involved in your life and is leading the way. With this Earth Guardian, I feel like you might see plants or a certain type of flower that's really important to you. So just know that your spirit guides communicate with you through plants. Okay. So let's get a final affirmation card for group number 2 for their March, to make the most of March for group number 2. Ooh, you got 2 that flipped over, and well, you got 3. Okay. Let's take them all. We have divine love for you. Acceptance. Radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. That feels like the big one. And then, oh, we have freedom again. You might have been torn between group number 1 and group number 2. So if you didn't catch all of group number 1, they're definitely like, go back and watch that. There's more messages for you there. So divine love, acceptance, and freedom. There's almost a sentence here. When you accept our help, this is your spirit guides, when you accept our help in divine love, it paves the way for your freedom. That's it. That's the message. Okay. So those were your messages for those of you who chose group number 2 with the Golden Healer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that resonated, and I will see you next time. For 3, if you chose this super cool piece of Indigo Gabbro, let's go ahead and get your messages for how to make the most of your March. Okay. So that crystal is very protective, and it's also about activating your third eye and your crown. So you might be working on some shadow work. That would be a good way to combine those ideas of like making sure you're feeling really protected while you're doing your divine work. All right. So for group number 3, how do they make the most of their March, Spirit? What do they need to know? Just need 2 more, please. How do they make the most of their March? Group number 3. Oops. Okay. Thank you. So first we have for you the 7 of Cups. And then the King of Swords. That's such a beautiful card. then the Nine of Wands. I feel like you have, this is coming through so clearly. I feel like you have a choice to make, group number 3. Okay, this would be a choice that you are very aware of, or a situation that you know you need to make a decision about. So the Seven of Cups is about feeling like there's a lot of options and it's unclear of how to proceed from here, okay? And in the King of Swords, this is all about having clarity and taking authority to make a really clear choice and go for it. So that's great news for you. If that is your situation, group number 3, if you have been struggling with the decision, I can see that that is going to become very clear for you, specifically in March. I can see, however, that there is, actually, hold on a second. Let me get a clarifier for that. Is this the same situation? Is this the same situation that we're talking about here? Yes. Okay. Yes, it's all connected is what they're saying. So it feels like this is something that's been going on for a pretty long time. Okay, this is something that you might be feeling really worried about. It feels like something's coming to a head. Basically, in other words, the pressure's on for you to make this decision. And it's like it's been pushed out this far to March, and you're actually going to be in a position where you can make a really clear decision and a really balanced decision. Okay, so that's amazing. That's definitely something to celebrate. Let's go ahead and get some crystal guidance for you. What else do they need to know about their March? It feels like you're processing something as well. So you might be working on digestive health, or kind of editing what you eat. You might even be meal prepping or choosing to eat different, higher vibrational foods than before. Ooh, look at that. That's so pretty. Bloodstone, power up your vitals. Ooh, what were we just saying? Yes. And then aquamarine, keep your cool. Oh, I love how that is under the Nine of Wands. So they're saying if you are really anxious, if you are really worried, there's no need to be worried. So I love that. And then with power up your vitals, this feels like some guidance on how to discern what is best for you. So this might be kind of a personality trait. You might have trouble making decisions, or because you just see the good in every choice, which is positive, but it does make it difficult to be discerning and decisive. So with this bloodstone and power up your vitals, it feels like Spirit's inviting you to consider these options in a different way, which is what feels nourishing to me. What feels healthy for me to do? So that might be a different aspect that hasn't been welcomed into the decision-making process yet. And with these cups, it could feel like emotional decision-making. So we're definitely being invited here to think more practically about how it might affect your physical and mental health, as well as having a very clear state of mind when you're making decisions. Okay. All right, so for group number 3, Spirit, what else do they need to know about how to make the most of their March? Do you have advice about intentions for them to set? Group 3, March. Group 3, March. Okay, so we have 2 that came out. We have full moon in Sag. Look at the bigger picture. And don't let your past hold you back. You might have been drawn to group number 1 as well. Did everyone want to pick group number 1? Interesting. Okay, yeah, I feel like look at the bigger picture is definitely lining up with power up your vitals, take care of your body, you know, instead of like instant gratification, what is going to feel really good and really healthy and right for you long term. Okay. And then with don't let your past hold you back, it's basically, again, we did mention emotional decision making and how that can kind of tangle things up. So it's like, yes, the past was a good case study on what could possibly happen, but we don't want to let negative situations, or more importantly, any fears, actually make decisions for you. Because they're saying even putting off a decision and trying not to make a decision, that's a decision. Okay. And you're way too intelligent and powerful to do that to yourself. All right. So there's a big message about honoring yourself that's coming through as well for you, group number 3. Okay. What other advice do their angels and ancestors have for group number 3? Oh, warrior. Be fearless and stand strong. Let's put that right there. Okay. You might be used to feeling like you need to do things on your own, group number 3. That might have been a pattern that was going on in your life. I feel an invitation, we'll see in the guidance that comes out, I feel an invitation to invite other people into the picture and to accept help, okay? All right. There's a lot of cards here. I don't know if we're going to put all of them on the table, but I will show you all of them. Okay. Oh, perfect. You got Guardian Angel, you are not alone. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying as we were shuffling. And then you also got Summer and Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. I'm going to set these up here so you can at least kind of see them up there. Okay. So I feel, yes, like this is validating everything I was picking up in the shuffle, is that you're used to depending on only yourself to make really important decisions. Like the Spirit Fox up here is really used to trusting themselves. And with the Summer card right next to it, that's worked out pretty well for you. But listen, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling really tired, it's okay to allow your spirit guides to fight the fight for you. You don't have to take on every single fight by yourself. So the biggest message here, oh, and they had me put the crystal right on top of it, is that you are not alone, group number 3. You're really, really not. 3 is also a really synchronistic number, so you might be getting synchronistic messages. You might even find feathers from your guides. I'm also getting a strong message about your dreams, group number 3. So if you're not someone who is a strong seer or hearer, you know, if you don't feel like you have a clair, like clairaudient, clairsentient, or whatever, pay attention to your dreams. It might be helpful to, I'm seeing you like voice recording your dreams, because oftentimes your guides can contact you there and even go over life lessons and help you heal within your dreams. And then for your final message, we have inner power. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Oh, and I love how that is sitting on don't let your past hold you back, and the King of Swords. Beautiful. And they really want me to flip this over. So maybe someone here was wanting to take a picture of this. Look at that. All right. There's also a lot of green right in the center of your reading. So it feels like this is all spiraling back right to the heart center. Okay. I feel like you have a really brave heart. You really are willing to take action. It's just that it doesn't have to be alone. Okay. There's definitely guidance all around you who are ready to protect you. And, you know, that was part of the stone that you chose. This does have to do with protection. So please know that you definitely are protected, because that has come out several times in your messages, okay? All right, so those were your messages for those of you who chose group number 3. I hope that resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.